What's up? And
What's
welcome
up?
back to the Obligatory podcast with Kermit and
Myke.
What's going on?
Not much. Episode 11.
That's right.
Double digits.
Double digit time. We finally did it. I didn't think we were going to pass 8.
Really?
No.
Ye of little faith.
I know.
Look at that.
It was mainly because I didn't want to edit anymore. That's
Yeah.
I started cracking.
But you know what? You've gotten good at
gotten
editing.
okay.
But think about how long it took you to edit the first ones with the video. And
That's
here's
horrible.
the thing. I think it's the video editing that takes the most time. Like this, you can basically throw up.
Yeah.
But the video editing is the thing. And even we were fortunate enough, Tuesday, we're recording tonight. It's a Thursday. Usually we record Tuesdays. We were invited over to be guests on the Devils in the Details.
Devils in the Details
podcast with Pedro Lima, produced by Chris Crespo over on the PFT, or as you call it, the network. Lots of great shows on over there. Our friends Poking the Bear, that's part of their network and everything else. And what's so funny is you were over there. We walked in, they were set to record, and you had to set up all your cameras and everything.
All my camera equipment all over again.
Chris Crespo, probably one of Central Florida's premier podcasters, was just like, you work too hard, man.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he was just looking around. He's like, man, you put in way too much effort. Yeah, it was kind of funny because that guy, produces, or of course he has Cinema Cresposito. I was really impressed with that guy. Like,
by the time we got home, the episode was up.
Episode was
That
up.
took me at least 3 days.
Yep. So yeah, you put a lot of time in it. But even so, I mean, even with the video stuff, you've learned stuff that has cut your time down considerably. Compared to the first, have to go through every different camera, and now you're like, bam, 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 good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I was losing it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I also upped my programs, so.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks to that.
Well, that helped. So what you been up to this week, man?
It's been pretty exciting, man. I got invited to hold mitts for a UFC fighter, middleweight fighter. He's second ranked in the UFC.
Oh, really?
His name is, he goes by JACARE.
Okay. RONALDO SOUZA.
Yeah.
JACARE. Yeah. Wow.
Monster.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast. And he's got a fight coming up. So you're actually training him.
I wouldn't say I'm training him.
Or you're training with him. You're part of the training team.
You're part of the training team. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It looks like UFC 224. And the title fight is going to be Nunes versus Pennington. I guess that's the main card, right?
Yep.
And then he is in the middleweight round. This is Saturday, May 12th, and it's Souza versus Gastelum. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good fight. You've been training with this guy for a couple of weeks now, actually, right?
I'm going on 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, and when I talked to you last week, you were showing me bruises you got through pads.
Through pads.
Right, and you told me at one point you've never been hit harder in your life.
No, I've held mitts for a lot of big guys. Mm-hmm. I've never held mitts for a ranked fighter, and it's a whole different impact. Like I never gotten kicked by a horse, but like I could imagine this how it feels. Like I had full padding on, and when he was hitting me with a hook to the body, my ribs were like, I thought they were gonna break.
Wow.
Like remember the M80s, the firecrackers?
Yeah.
Like how loud they were.
The ones you tape to a window and light, and then it
I used
blows
to put
up
them
the
in
whole
trash
window.
cans.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people do toilets. Yeah. Nobody uses them for anything other than minor explosions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's how it sounded when he hit the pads. It's like bam.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow.
I got scared. I wanted to cry.
You wanted to cry,
But I couldn't.
But you actually told me you had fluids coming out from other places.
Oh, that happened recently.
What
Man,
happened?
it never escapes.
What happened? Yeah, we can't go an episode without something like
I had
this.
to pee a little bit.
He hit you and you peed a little?
I peed a little.
Was it fear, or was it you lost all control of your bladder?
He punched me in the stomach, and I had a body shield on, and a little squirt came out. I mean,
yeah.
Like 80% squirt. I peed my pants. I walked. I excused myself and I left. I didn't go home. I just kind of checked up.
Right.
I did the mummy technique. You know what the mummy technique is?
What's that?
Where you wrap your wiener in toilet paper.
Is that what you...
Yeah, man.
Did you forget your cup? What was going on?
Not to get kicked in the balls. It's just,
okay.
Like that's why you soak up all the pee in your...
You're taking all these steps just not to wear diapers. You know that, right?
Yeah, you wrap up your wiener in toilet paper like a mummy, and then you don't have to worry about dribble. What? Oh, I'm the only one that does this?
Between... What I loved is when we were talking with Pedro over on Devils in the Details, once again, the pooping your pants in your mid-30s came up. And what I liked was you being in a room with other guys in their mid-30s, early 40s, who also, like I did, looked at you like you were crazy when you said, yeah, it happens to all of us. And 3 out of 4 people in that studio were a strong no on that, sir. So how long you can continue training with him? Like all the way up to fight time, or is he just in town?
As long as they invite me.
Now, how does that work? Like, does he normally train in Orlando? Is his home gym here, or did he specifically come here to work with someone for a fight, and then they kind of outsource local people to come train with him?
I know he cross-trains. So in other words, he trains at multiple gyms. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the gym that I'm at is called Fusion XL.
That's right out here, right?
By the West Oaks, inside the West Oaks Mall.
Yeah.
I think that he's calling that his home base now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about that because and I heard a lot of rumors because the last fight he did, UFC 221, 22. I don't know. He head kicked a guy and knocked him out.
Ooh.
And then destroyed him. It was like off the first or second round. Mm-hmm. And I heard from all the coaches that a lot of Brazilian people were treating the coaches like crap. Because they had like a disgust or distaste that he jumped ship from training with a Brazilian team and training with Americans. Mm-hmm. So it's like a whole weird kind of vibe. Yeah. I wasn't there to say that, but this is what I'm hearing from rumors. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if he's calling this gym his home, but he seems. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. He's really nice until he switches
and goes into fight mode.
Evil Gator mode, and it's scary. And
we've joked about it before, but where better to have a Ultimate Fighting gym than in the West Oaks Mall, because you're in 15 fights before you make it through the food court.
Yeah. That's initiation.
No, that's it. That's just your warm up. So
yeah.
Well, man, you're training with him. Do you think you're actually going to go to the fight, or where is the fight?
It's in Brazil, so no.
Oh, it's actually in. I see here Rio de Janeiro.
The other coaches are.
Yeah.
The guy that runs that gym, his name is Julian Williams. Mm-hmm. I've been helping him too, and he has a fight this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Which is very weird because we have a wedding to go to.
Yeah. And if you weren't at that wedding,
I want to be at this fight.
And where's that fight going to be?
In Longwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he has a fight. It's a big fight for him.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the wedding of this century coming up. Mr. Ken Miller, kind of the godfather of comedy, a good friend to a lot of us, especially us, on the Obligatory podcast at least. Finally tying the nuts and
nuts.
The nuts, tying the nuts, tying the nuts.
He's tying his nuts too.
Tying the nuts. Yeah, and. Yeah, looking forward to that. Did you get put to work at that wedding?
I almost did.
Really?
And I got out of it.
Yeah. It seems like you're the only one. I was talking to. We did the bachelor party show for Ken Miller at the Orlando Improv last night. Good turnout. A lot of great comics on the show. Let's see. It was Ken Miller. James John hosted the whole thing. Pedro Lima closed it out with a strong feature set. Tight Myke. Mike Randolph was there. Miguel Colonna was on the show. And Alex Yu. Alex Yu, of course, Florida's Funniest, I think 2015 or 16 was there, and Jersey was there. Jersey, the Haitian sensation, and it was just a good turnout. It was a packed crowd. They had stopped tickets like the day before, and they're like, we just don't have any more.
Nice.
So, yeah, good turnout. And of course, the bride to be, the lovely Shawnee, was there, and
did you just call her Shawnee?
Shawnee. Yeah, I've been calling her LaShawn all the time, and I guess everybody else calls her Shawnee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, did you just name another woman?
Is it weird that we're going to a wedding and just now learning what they prefer to be called? But it's the same thing with your girlfriend. Like I was talking to Pedro last night, and that's right before I went up because I was going to mention LaShawn. I'm like, do we all call her LaShawn? Or you guys? And I'm like, it's like Kermit's girlfriend. You know her. You know her, and it's either Joe or Jone, but it always just ends up being like, hey, sweetie.
Hey, girl.
So, do you feel comfortable telling me once and for all the proper pronunciation of your girlfriend's name? Janae.
Yeah. I call it Janae, but...
Janae, yeah. But you pay half the rent, so you can get away with murder.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why, for some reason, I was calling her Joe or Joan for a while.
It's short. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some people call her Jay. I think Johnny. I think her sister calls it Johnny.
She's got more names than P. Diddy, man.
She's got a bunch of
She a rapper?
She's a rapper. She's a rapper.
It's great, though, because she's a nurse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to imagine if we have problems remembering her name and we see her all the time, patients never know who to call for when they need something. So she's just walking the hallways.
She's a coochie nurse.
A what?
A coochie nurse.
What's that?
She's a nurse that delivers babies.
Oh, right.
Nurse management.
Really?
Yeah, so she looks like coochies all day.
When I had my firstborn, I thought it was inappropriate because we were going there and we were meeting with and actually my firstborn was born at the hospital right here down the road from you.
Health Central?
Yeah, Orlando Health Central.
Okay.
Yeah, and so someday on his birth certificate, it's Orlando Health Central, but of course we're in Ocoee, right?
Right, you're in Ocoee.
So I feel bad for him because he's going to tell everybody he's from Orlando, and then someday he's going to see his birth certificate, and it's like, nah, dude.
You're from good old Ocoee,
You're from
boy.
Ocoee.
Ocoee.
Yeah, and I always wondered why I like country music. Now you know.
Now you know, boy.
But when we walked in one day before the delivery, I heard one nurse referring to the other. Oh, I can't do that. I'm catching in room number 3. I'm catching in room number 3. I'm catching in room. And I'm like, why would they call it catching? You know, that seems like such an unprofessional, technical. And then when you see a baby shoot out of a greased coochie at like 100 miles per hour,
greased
there's no other word than catching, because that was exactly what that woman did. Like, she was swat down, giving signals to the vagina. She's like, all right, looks like it's gonna be a curveball, down low and tight. And dude, they literally caught my firstborn. Like, if they had, you should have a safety net there, or God should have designed babies to have like those parachutes on the back of them, like, you know, when those race cars go and they hit, and once they cross the line, the parachute deploys, slowing them down. Because, dude, I'm glad my only job was to cut the cord, because
you cut it? You did that?
I cut the cord, which here's the reason I did it. It's kind of like you ran. Baby's mama ran the entire marathon on her own, but right before she's ready to cross and break the ribbon, I'm like, nope, I got this. It seems like the most ceremonious thing that you could possibly do. Like, this is, and that's literally and figuratively their connection that has kept him alive. That's the cord that people are always like, oh, you should cut that umbilical cord. Well, too late. I did it the day he was born.
Did you be white and like?
Did I be white?
Yeah.
Yes, I be white.
You be white. I was like scratching my eyeball at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
I can't speak at the same time. It was really good. Did you act white and try to keep the placenta?
Oh, you're disgusting.
I'm not disgusting. White people do that, and then they
white
eat
people do that.
Yeah, they eat it. You guys are disgusting.
Not the white people I hang with, man.
I'm just making sure.
No,
I always hear people want to keep it.
I think baby's mama kept the umbilical cords,
Ew.
which I found.
Doesn't it just all dry up, look like a shriveled little?
I try not to look at them wherever they are.
Is it displayed in the house?
No. No, I've seen that before, where they have the frames with the baby's face and the. I'm good, man. I'm good. So, we recorded last week, and I always know when life's going a little too well. Like, last week I left here, I was thinking, man, life's not bad. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm content. I like what I do. Get to do this show with you every week. Get out of here. It's fun. You know, I enjoy what we do. And then sure enough, the next day I get hit after 10 years of being in the townhome I'm in. I guess the landlord is deciding to take over control of it again. I think it's because she is selling the property she lives in now, and she's moving back into ours. So I have 60 days, which less than that now, to be in a new place.
Oh.
And it's just this after 10 years, man. The last time I moved into the place I'm in now with a roommate and who would eventually become baby's mama. And and now, but that was it. So 3 of us moved into a place 10 years ago, and then the other roommate moved out, and we had 2 kids there. And now I didn't really stop to think this was even a possibility, just because after a decade, you're just kind of comfortable,
right.
You know? And you would think after 10 years, I get more than 60 days notice, but it's through a property management company. I've only met the landlord like once in my life. And they're just very, hey, you know, in every lease, it's you must give 60 days notice, or they must give 60 days notice. Either party needs to give. But after 10 years, man, it's like, give me a little bit more heads up, because before this, I've always moved around, but it was always like, hey, man, I think I want to live in a different town. Can I crash on your couch until I find a place? It was like me traveling alone. And now it's just a whole different world, man. It's like I'm responsible for those two, and that's the only life they've ever known. Like Aiden, my 8-year-old, man, he's a little bit torn up because this is his home.
Yeah.
This is all he's ever known. And also, all these things you never really think about. You're like, okay, well, I got to find a new place. But then also, man, well, if I don't find a place in this district, then that means he has to go to a different school. And also just all the other stuff. Like where I live right now, like I drive, depending on traffic, sometimes it takes me 40 minutes to get out here. Sometimes it takes me 20. It just depends. But you're not what you would call centrally located to Orlando.
I feel like I am.
Are you?
I do.
You're not. You live in the boonies, dude.
No.
Like, we've talked before. Like when I want to get up on stage, I can think of a joke, hop in the car, 10 minutes later, be somewhere on stage doing that joke. And you have 40 minutes of a drive to decide your joke is shitty. And you still drive all the way out there with the delusion that whatever you're going to say is going to work. But man, I'm so centrally located. I don't even need rides like to the airport because I go 2 blocks one way and the bus picks me up and takes me right to OIA. It's perfect for where I want to be.
That sucks for your situation though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Publix got some nice like premium boxes that you could probably build a house and
that's the other thing, man. If it was just me, like all the stuff in this house, I can pack my stuff in like 1 carload and be gone. It's all their stuff in this house that we got to move into another place. And then
it could be a good start.
It could be, but until we're actually settled somewhere, it's nothing but a headache, man.
I mean,
and the other thing is,
you got it rough right now.
I joke all the time that I live in a 2-income house, but I make both incomes.
Right.
And that's a true fact. And what I find now is when I rented years ago, man, all you need to do was here's a check for first, last, and security, and you're in, and don't have any evictions. The rental game's changed, and the realtors are telling me the reason it's changed so much is after this last hurricane tore up Puerto Rico, and people are coming in just.
People are flooding the streets.
I didn't say their. I didn't go all Trump. I said the people.
You can say my people.
Your people, fine. Your family.
My family.
It's coming over, and now they're jacking up. Well, number one, rent's gone up considerably. But number 2, they're asking for all these other employment verifications. Like, they don't just want you to have a job. They want you to prove that you have 3 months or 3 times the monthly rent. You make 3 times the monthly rent.
3 times? I thought it was just double.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, and with what I do, comedy and whatnot, there's no steady paycheck in what I do. It's like this month, yeah, dude, I can be on the road for 14 days and make more than most people make in 2 or 3 months. But then there's this month where it's like I'm picking up a host gig here and there, for $100, $150 a pop. So it's become very gonna have to get creative on showing that income. Plus, baby's mama hasn't worked since we had the second kid because she became a full-time stay-at-home mom.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that just being unemployed?
You can say that and still close your eyes at night and not worry about whether you're going to wake up or not because you don't live in the house with her.
Oh, does she listen to this podcast?
Does anyone listen to this podcast?
True, but...
Hey, we had 177 downloads.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So it's an interesting, stressful time.
Holy shit,
Plus, I've been thinking about moving out for a couple of years now, but the reason that I haven't is because when we moved in 10 years ago, she had this 650-pound armoire that we put upstairs. Armoire, it's like a big...
Yeah, I know what an armoire. Why are you explaining that to me?
Really?
Yes.
Because you can't pronounce simple words. I didn't think you were going to get armoire.
Anyway.
Watch this. Spell it.
Spell it?
Yeah, spell it.
Spell it. Spell armoire.
Yeah.
No, let's keep going.
Not it. Did you really think I was asking you to spell it right now? All right, moving on with armoire.
Yeah. Armoire.
Yeah. So 10 years ago when I moved in, 31-year-old Myke lugging that upstairs with a friend. Every time it's come up to like, do you want to renew? I just think about that armoire and go, yeah, we're good for another year.
You're not moving because based off of bed set or?
Yeah, I stayed an extra 3 years because I didn't want to move that armoire. And now I don't have a choice. But if 31-year-old me barely got it upstairs with a healthy friend, 41-year-old me is going to come tumbling down that staircase. You know what I'm thinking of doing? Just, did you ever do this in high school? They had, like, on those field days, they would bring in a car and a sledgehammer, and you paid $5 to whack away at the car. Did you ever do that?
No.
Yeah, it was like a common fundraiser thing back in the high school I went to, like any field day or anything like that.
Angry
or
white,
carnivals.
white boy day?
Yep.
We don't shoot up the school, you beat the shit out of a car.
You might be onto something, man.
I might be honest.
Maybe if we just brought back like car bashes, people could just take out some hostility. But I'm thinking of doing that with this armoire. I'm going to charge, and it's going to help with my moving expenses. I'm going to let people come in. I'm going to have 2 different axes and a drill to choose from. You pay $10 and you can just wreck your day on my armoire.
What if it gets out of hand?
Even better. I don't live there anymore. Take the place apart. I don't care.
Yeah, then you have to pay for the damn damage.
Take out
You're going to trust comedians?
Take out my deposit.
Speaking of trust comedians.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's going to act stupid at this wedding? Like, you don't think anyone's going to bring, like, some, like, weed brownies or, like, some edibles? There's a lot of weed heads going to this.
There are a ton.
I realized that last night. I was like, damn, you guys do a lot of drugs.
Well, not just the comedians. I met a lot of the family and friends who were at the show last night. And,
because they came up to me. Like, yo, you got any edibles? And I was like, do I look like I take edibles?
Yeah,
like,
and some of the family and friends of the bride and groom who stopped by the merch table and picked up a watch or something, they all made the comment, I can use this to light my candles.
Oh, man. Who do you think is going to act up?
Everybody.
A comedian or just the family?
I don't know how many times last night someone pointed out to Ken Miller, you're really doing open bar?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's open bar. Top shelf.
Either that or just top shelf bottles with low shelf liquor.
Yeah, low shelf liquor.
But yeah.
Open bar.
It's going to be there's going to be, anytime you get that many personalities in one place, you know, it's Ken's wedding, but there's so many guys like, you're going to be at a wedding.
We're not naming names, but yeah.
You're going to be at a wedding. Doesn't he have another comedian hosting his wedding? Or hosting
he has a comedian hosting the wedding. He has a comedian DJing the wedding. He has a comedian ushering the wedding. He has a comedian videography in the wedding. I don't know about the photographer. It might be Ryan Holmes for all I know.
It's funny, though, because this is the first time we're going to see another comedian on stage, and I'm not going to be like, I wish I was up there right now.
I want nothing to do with it.
I hope he's doing the vows and he's checking the audience to see who he's not getting. That one guy didn't like my vows.
We're going to light him. All right, wrap this up. This is going on.
Play the music up. Get to the I do, man.
Let's go.
I asked his fiance last night. I'm like, so am I doing my merch pitch before or after the vows?
I heard that. That'll be great.
I can't have a room full of captive people and not at least try to move some.
Sell your fire wallet.
Dude, I got to find a place in less than 60 days. I need some move-in money.
Only comedian that shows up to open mics, showcases, and weddings and walks away with $2,000 somehow.
Yeah. So, dude, I never knew this. I heard you talk about it a little bit on stage at open mic, and I thought it was such a great bit that you were just starting to develop. David Carradine.
Okay.
David Carradine, of course, he was known from
Kill Bill, mainly.
From Kill Bill, but before that, he was on a series, Kung Fu, where he was a traveling, wandering monk, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, later on, he got even more famous with Kill Bill, and even later, he got more famous with the way he actually died. And now, I know usually my stories on this podcast are the ones that are people like, look, everything I say, like, we exaggerate some things, but if I tell you afterwards, I'm like, dude, I swear. I mean it, So I did start Toy Story 2, is what I'm getting to. However,
I forgot.
However, this story that you were telling, how much of that is? Well, first I'm going to ask you. I only caught the tail end of it. So you met David Carradine,
yes,
right before he passed away.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the?
Well, I want to take credit that I enforced it.
Well, let's go back. Let's not Quentin Tarantino and jump right to the ending.
Yeah.
Let's start with the start and get to where we're going.
Okay.
So when and why did you meet him? What was going on?
It's 2014. Yeah, it's about 2014, maybe 2012. I forgot. And I went to a comic book convention in Atlanta, and he was there signing autographs for $50.
Right.
Line out the door, and I waited in line. And what I had for him, you can only get one thing signed. That was the rule.
Were they charging per
sign?
What were they charging?
$50.
And they were setting a limit. Is that so that people don't go sell stuff online?
Well, you don't want some guy to come with like a box full of like. And he's just signing.
If I'm the guy signing and he's got a box of stuff and I'm charging $50 a pop,
you're thinking like those guys are all about money, man.
Right.
Like Stan Lee does the same thing. He'll charge you per sign.
He doesn't charge you per sign?
Well, he does.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if the guy shows up with a box of things for me to sign,
but sometimes some people don't want to do it. Like just.
Oh, okay.
I guess they keep the line going.
Oh, okay. So you can meet all your fans and scam.
Right.
You rather scam 100
He's
people
old
out
too,
$50.
now. He doesn't have too much time to be hanging out. He wants to take a nap.
Who, Stanley or
David Carradine?
Well, he's taking a long nap.
He's taking.
So, but anyways, on with your story.
On story. I had a magazine. It was a magazine from Black Belt Magazine, and it was very old. And I got to the front of the line. I gave him the magazine. He grabs the magazine, and he's about to sign it. And then he like stopped in mid-sign and just like leaned back in his chair and opened the magazine and starts reading the article. Keep in mind, the article is like 5 pages long.
Right.
So now there's a buttload of people waiting on me. Everyone's kind of like doing like the what the F mode, like what's going on, why it's taking so long. He's reading the entire article like he didn't have any part of this article. It's all about him. So I'm like, what are you shocked about? There's nothing. He leans back over, finishes his signature, slides it to me, and then pulls it away as I'm about to grab it. And he goes, I would appreciate if you gave me this magazine. And I was like, well, I appreciate it, but I appreciate it. Keep it. and I took it. And I was like, thank you, because there's no pictures. And I walked off my building.
Right.
And I would say like maybe 20 feet away, not even 20 steps. And I feel a tap, and it's his assistant.
His assistant.
And she's like, Mr. Carradine would like to purchase a magazine from you.
Oh.
For $50. I was like, wait,
you just paid.
I'm losing here.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any money. I was like, no, thank you. She's like, 100. I was like, no, thank you. She goes, one more offer. I'm willing to give you, I think she said 400, maybe $300 right now. No, thank you. And I walked the hell off.
Yeah, because if David Carradine is willing to pay $300 to $400
something in my
for
head
that,
was like a part of me was like, oh, I'll take the money, but like, my buddy's like, dude, take the money. I was like, no, there's something in my head telling me don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny too because Black Belt Magazine was a pretty popular magazine at one point. I gotta imagine you'd still be able to go online and find a back order issue or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
and
like
especially if you're the guy from the issue, you imagine David Carradine could just call up Black Belt and be like, I'd like a copy of my issue.
So yeah, in my head, I'm not giving it up. Kill Bill himself wants his magazine.
Right.
5-finger death heart explosion. Only 2 people know it.
Yep.
Him and Uma, and she's not talking. So I'm not giving this up. I'm not giving this up.
Right.
So later on the night, the way the convention set up, it's in a hotel. It's 2 hotels, and everything happens in the hotels. You don't need to leave. So if you stay in the hotel, you're in the party. So the after party is all in the lobbies and like all in like the ballrooms and all that. So it's just party after party after party, which is awesome. I'm walking down with my buddy, and I'm a little tipsy. I'm pretty tipsy, and I see him from the other side, and I kid you not, we locked eyes, and he's staring me down, and I'm staring, and like I couldn't stop walking.
I wish I could whistle right now so I could do that. There it is. The
That
man
was
with no
happening.
name. Yeah.
I'm just walking, and I just couldn't stop like walking. He's staring at me. We cross back, and he grabs me by my arm, and he leans over and goes, "You know, you're a really piece of shit, or you're a really fucking asshole," into my ear. The only thing I could think of at the time, I go, "Yeah, you're a real jerk off," and they walked away.
Wow.
Great comeback, Kermit. Good job.
Yep. Nice.
Whatever, right? 2 months later.
2 months?
2 months later.
2 months.
He is found dead in a Thailand, in Bangkok, in a hotel, in a closet. And he died from erotica asphyxiation. So in other words, he has a belt around his neck, choking himself, beating off.
Probably to another copy of that same issue of Black Belt magazine.
And I want to take record.
You think you're what pushed him over the edge?
He remembered me calling him a jerk off, and he jerked himself off to death.
Oh my God!
And
it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
I take full credit.
Dude, what if that is the reason?
Oh.
What if there was something in that article that he just,
maybe in his dying will, he's like, this piece of crap called me go jerk off.
Well,
jerk off or whatever.
It really is what you said, but I don't know, man. I mean,
my story is more believable than Toy Story 2 bunny ears.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I had an icon die.
You had a what?
An icon.
Icon.
What do you thought I said?
I thought you said I had an eye contact.
Eye contact. No, I had an icon die. Based off my words.
I tend to think that more people are familiar with Toy Story than David Carradine nowadays.
Okay, but still.
I think I could go up to just about anyone and be like, have you heard of Toy Story? They'd be like, yeah. Have you heard of David Carradine? Yeah, he was part of the Partridge Family, right?
And then they'll be like, I never heard that someone invented bunny ears over Buzz Lightyear's head.
I know, because much like most of the people, like the Hero Initiative, who created most of the people that Stan Lee takes credit for, I have been pushed into the annals of history.
All right, agree to disagree.
I will agree that I'm going to disagree with you.
Well, I mean, my story is more legit.
No.
I met the guy. You never even met who did the voice?
Of who?
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Or you're a Buzz. You never met the voice of Tim Allen, so you can't even tell him that you came up with that.
He probably doesn't even know. He's just a higher hand in the whole process, man.
You know why he doesn't know? Because he did it. He made a suggestion. Him and Tom Hanks.
No.
Yes.
That's not even.
Not Myke Hurley.
It's not even how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's not
exactly
how it works. No.
I'm telling you, man. You didn't. Why are we arguing over this,
dude? All I said was that I could be the inspiration behind the cover.
You didn't say
behind
could be.
The cover.
You said you were
behind the cover of Toy Story 2. If you go back and check my write-ups, you'll see what I was written up for. You, however, in the past 3 weeks, have taken credit for David Carradine's death and Jay Moore's new special.
Oh yeah, that too. I get credit for that.
So
if he names it, what was it? Damn it.
Space.
Something
personal space. Interpersonal.
Limited space.
Limited space.
Yeah.
Gee, for someone who came up with a name, you sure forgot it
so
really
many
quickly.
Ideas. It just goes out.
You have so many ideas. You know what you didn't come up with? Cover for Toy Story 2, because that was all me, motherfucker. It was all me.
Whatever, man. Get off of this damn subject with this Toy Story and David Carradine beating himself off to death.
Yeah, it's kind of sad stuff. So I guess that's a good segue right into zombie raccoons.
What?
You didn't hear about zombie raccoons?
No.
Yeah, this is going on apparently in Youngstown, Ohio. Zombie raccoons. There are these raccoons that I guess experts have said they have zombie-like abilities for the fact that, what is it? It's a disease which is called...
The hell are you talking about, man? Raccoons that died and come back to life.
No. Where is? I want to get the name right.
You're about to
for you
live
guys.
with a bunch of raccoons if you get kicked out of this house and don't find a place.
Wow. You happy with yourself there?
That was good. I saw your eyebrow twitch like you motherfucker.
Oh man, yeah. If it's okay, if I lose my house, I'm gonna show up with the kids, and we're just gonna be right here.
I'll rent out the karate school, a little section for you.
Okay. The disease is called distemper. The Department of Natural Resources. These are raccoons currently in Youngstown, Ohio, and the thing is, once they have this disease, it causes coughing, tremors, and seizures. But more importantly, it leads raccoons to lose their fear of humans. So, as raccoons usually come out scavenge at night, these raccoons are coming out in broad daylight. They have no fear of humans or animals, and they tend to stand on their back legs at full height to try to intimidate you. So just imagine those cute little raccoons.
Like Rocket.
Yeah, that's basically what you have. These little Rocket raccoons without all the armory walking around Youngstown, Ohio. But then when they stand up on their hind legs, they fall back and go into like a little coma for a minute or two or something. So that's why they're calling them zombie raccoons.
So they're like meth heads from Daytona.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Robert Cogshell was with his dogs outside his home last week.
What's his last name?
Robert Cogshell.
Okay, he said Cockshell. I was like, wow, that's a horrible name.
Was with his dogs outside his home last week when he told the station a raccoon headed toward them. He immediately rushed the dogs indoors and snapped photos of the furry creature. He would stand up on his hind legs, which I've never seen a raccoon do before. I've seen that before. And he would show his teeth, and then he would fall over backward and go into almost a comatose condition. When that's your attack move, that's the lamest Mortal Kombat move ever. Like run up, bare your teeth, fall backwards, play possum.
Goats do that too, don't they? You scare the shit out of them, they tip over and freeze.
Like fainting goats.
Yeah, fainting goats.
Yeah. Like if you scare them, they just automatically go. But dude, that's creepy. Just to see hordes of raccoons just walk around with no fear of humans.
And then they just tip over like dominoes.
Well, I imagine some tip over, but I'm more concerned about the one or two that get through. Have you seen raccoons? Like they all look cute when you catch them like scurry at night, but they are...
Well, I don't go up to raccoons. I've seen them on the side of the road hit by cars.
Yeah.
But not a live one.
Take that, zombie Walking Dead raccoon version. That'd be cute if Disney did an animated series of The Walking Dead using raccoons instead.
And we're using the Disney characters, Rocket. Rocket
Raccoon. Yeah.
See, that's the kind of shit that interests you. Mm-hmm. Zombie. Raccoons.
No, not really. Not really. It caught my attention. Gotcha. It caught my attention, but yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not really big on the whole zombie thing. Like I was like 5 seasons behind before I even watched the first Walking Dead. You know, so I would see everybody freaking out. Usually what I like to do is watch nothing until every episode's available on like Netflix, and then I just binge watch.
I have so much to binge watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many shows you watch?
I don't know really, because like I said, I wait till they're all finished. Like new season of Trailer Park Boys came out this week on Netflix. Do you watch
That's
Trailer?
Still around?
Dude.
I never watched an episode.
Really?
I always hear about it.
It's funny. It's funny.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
It seems very YouTube look.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny though, man.
I don't know if I'll add that to my roster like ASAP, but
it's one of those things where if you watch the first season and you don't find any of it funny, don't waste your time on the next 11 seasons.
Can you name up all the shows right now, like in 10 seconds? How many shows you watch?
How many shows I watch?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the only things I really watch is the new version of Mythbusters, which I don't care for. I don't like the guys who took it over. They're just not as good.
Right.
I watched Forged in Fire. I watched a lot of, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about this.
I watch a lot of Food Network shows for some reason. I don't know why. What about you? What are you watching right now?
You really want me to go down the list?
Yeah, make it quick.
Walking Dead, Fear the Dead, Gotham, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Mick, Voltron, Ninja Turtles. Shut up. Jessica Jones, anime, Dragon Ball Z. I'm catching up on that. Naruto, I'm catching up on that. Man, there's so much more.
Dude, how you have... Now I know why you don't have time to write good jokes.
Black Mirror.
You're too busy watching other people's creations.
Damn right.
Man, I do like Black Mirror, man.
I need to catch up on that. And I'm pretty sure I didn't name some other shows. I got like quite a few other shows I got to name.
Is there any one show that you have to see that week and you can't have anyone talk about? Like,
no, I don't care.
No?
You could talk about it. And I was just like, I'm still going to go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able to make it out, see Ready Player One?
Haven't been to the movies.
No?
No. I want to see that. I want to see Pacific Rim 2. I actually want to see the Tomb Raider. Any other movies out that I think of? I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, I wanted to see Ready Player One. My buddy Kevin White was going, and he asked me to go. And I was like, yeah, man, I didn't read the book or anything, but I've seen the previews. And the previews are so cool because it's like all the stuff from the 80s and 90s that they managed to get into this film. And I'm like, how did they get the rights to that? Yeah, man, I can't wait to see that. And then he told me he was going to Point Orlando IMAX 3D, and tickets were like $22 plus tax. And I don't
It's too much.
Yeah, I'll wait for Redbox, man.
Yeah, no.
How do you feel about 3D movies? You like them?
Yes and no. I only do it for special occasion. I go do that 4DX. You know what that is?
That's the one with the seats that rock back and forth and stuff?
It's like a roller coaster.
Man, just go and movie at West Oaks. There'll be someone kicking your seat behind you. You don't even have to pay extra for that.
And that's $4.25 a ticket.
Mm.
I gotta go. I gotta do so many movies I gotta watch. Mm-hmm. I used to go to movies every Friday.
Yeah, I remember, and now you don't make it out.
Because stupid life and the editing.
Well, I don't think I'll be doing much of anything for the next 60 days other than stressing about it. And
building a house,
man,
out of boxes.
That's the other thing. Like, I got realtor buddies, and they're like, this is going to be so hard for you to hear, but you can't even really look for a rental right now. I'm like, why? They're like, because you're 60 days out, man. If you find something, anything you see online right now is probably going to be gone by the time you want to move into it, because they're going to take first come, first served basis. And they're like, so you need to be looking like at the beginning of May. And I'm like, you know,
it's a little nerve-wracking.
21-year-old me would be like, dude, whatever. I'll decide I don't want to live somewhere tonight and call somewhere else tomorrow and be like, can I crash on your couch, figure stuff out? Yeah, man, come on up. But, man, when you got a whole house to pack up, 10 years worth of stuff to pack up, kids to move and everything else, plus it's happening at the worst time. It's like their summer. You know, it's the end of school. Like, May is his last month of school. It couldn't have happened at a worse time, man. Especially being in Orlando, Florida, when a lot of rentals people use during the summer to rent out to tourists and everything else. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be an ongoing thing. We'll see where it goes.
We'll do a comedy show to build you a house or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, you're right, man. I mean, I think I've literally been on just about every charity benefit show.
You're allowed to get one.
I've told Aiden that before. I'm like, look, buddy, here's what's going to happen. When Daddy passes away early, and it will happen, when Daddy passes away early, the local community of comedy, for the time I've put in, the shows I put together and stuff like that I've been part of, you're probably going to get at least one good fundraiser show. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to talk to Ken Miller. I want him to give you all the money, and I want you to take off. Take off. Don't worry about your mom. Don't worry about your little brother, because I'll be honest, man. I know you're going to want to do the right thing and try and take care of them. It's not going to be enough money. It's enough money for one guy to maybe make a start. I'm like, it's not enough for 3 people. So dude, when I'm gone, you owe nobody nothing, man.
That's great coaching, Dad.
It is. Dude, at least this way one son survives. Yeah.
And the other one suffers.
One lives on to spread the seed. Maybe the next generation of Hurley will not fail. On that note, man,
yeah.
I think we're at our limit for tonight. You got anything coming up this weekend?
Dude, that wedding, I'm so looking forward to it.
Are you?
Well, I mean, I want to go to the fight, but the wedding's going to be interesting.
The wedding's going to be...
I want to see what's going to happen.
Where's it at? It's at the...
Science Center.
The Orlando Science Center, right there on Off Mills?
Yep.
All right, cool. And they're doing the wedding and reception in the same place?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I always hate those weddings that...
It's 5 hours long.
What?
It's 7 to midnight.
What?
You just realizing this now?
I know. Dude, I told you before we started recording. I've done nothing. I've done nothing I was supposed to do.
I'm not driving that night.
No?
No.
Right. Yeah. So
someone's dick's going in that wedding cake.
You know I'm the usher, right? Like,
it's gonna be you're gonna be so bad.
I think it's just a prestigious thing.
You're gonna be so bad at it.
Dude, I used to work in restaurants, so I figure it's kind of like hosting. But, I'm going to try and put people in one place. They're like, can we have by the window instead? We don't want to sit by the bathrooms. We're on the bride's side. We're on the groom's side.
You guys sit where the hell you want to sit.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like the guy in the office who cuts up the birthday cake. By the time you pass all the pieces of cake around, there's never a piece left for you. Like, by the time I get everybody sat, there's going to be no seats for me. All the good seats are taken,
You know what? I think a comedian's doing the catering, too. I really do, and I'm not joking.
Well, we're definitely going to come back with highlights from this wedding.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, guys, my name is Myke Hurley. Check us out. I was trying to check the email account. I couldn't sign into it to see if anyone sent us anything.
Whoops. Well, we'll check it out later.
We'll check it out next show. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, insults, go ahead, direct those to the Obligatory Podcast at gmail.com. Find us on iTunes, Spotify. Share it. Hit the follow button. Find us on YouTube. There's really no excuse. If you're not listening to us, it's because you don't want to, and I understand.
Yeah, Mom.
So until that time, catch up with us next episode, and we'll see if anything's changed with my housing situation or if I'm going to be crashing in Kermit's closet. You do have a big closet, dude.
I got you.
All right. Cool.
All right, man. Bye. Later.